Good morning, everyone. I warmly welcome you all to this free webinar. I hope you all stay safe and healthy during this period. This is a really good opportunity for all of us to think differently and do something new. So, by keeping that in mind, I'm going to start this webinar. The topic is develop your startup by creating a supply chain of quality fresh produce. So, let's look at the outline of this webinar. So first I will give you a short introduction about what is supply chain, and then I will explain lean supply chain model. Finally, I will explain possible business opportunities in this area. Okay, let's see what is supply chain. If you heard the word chain, what comes to your mind? So then you can visualize connected entities. So who are those entities in this chain? So let me explain by using fresh produce supply chain. So if it is fresh produce supply chain, so who are those entities? We have farmer who supply fresh produce. So we have farmer who supply fresh produce to collector through Through collector, we have economic center, from economic center to wholesaler, from wholesaler to retailer, and then finally we have consumer. So if you look at this traditional fresh produce supply chain, it looks like simple. But if you look at the practical view of this chain, so it is going to be very complex. It's going to be very large network. It's a complex network. So why I'm going to say it's complex? So we have large number of farmers who supply fresh produce to different collectors in their region, and through collectors it goes to economic center, and again we have large number of wholesalers, large network of retailers, and then finally consumer. So then it's going to be, as I said, it's a large network. So managing this network is the challenge. So if you want to develop business, if you want to start a new business, or if you want to improve your current business, so if you know how to manage effectively and efficiently this flow, so that means you are doing a really good job in your business. So what are the things we have to manage here? Basically, there are three flows happening throughout this supply chain. So we have fresh produce flow and information flow. Information flow happens to the both direction. Why it is both direction? Yes, farmers, they need information from collector. So how much they can collect for the next period. And also collectors, they need information from farmer. So what are the varieties and the quantities? So such a way they have to share their information. So information sharing is again very important. And funds flow happens opposite of the fresh produce flow. So somehow if you know how to manage these three flow effectively and efficiently, so that means you are doing a really good job in your business. So another important thing I need to mention here. So since we have a large number of entities in this chain, so the value addition is another important thing. So value addition from each entity is very important to manage this supply chain. If there is no value addition, so you have to eliminate that entity from this chain. So that is why some people call this as value chain. So you have to have value addition. It's very important. You have to think about if there's no value addition in your business by keeping wholesaler, so you have to eliminate that from the chain. So next talk about why we need to focus on supply chain. So let me explain this by using traditional fresh produce supply chain in Sri Lanka. So if you consider traditional fresh produce supply chain in Sri Lanka, so approximately 40% fresh produce is wasted. So due to different reasons. So first, if you want to develop your own business, so then you should focus on that, how to reduce wastage happening throughout the supply chain. So there are different types of wastages. So one main cause to having huge wastage is transportation wastage. What is called transportation wastage? So if you move your fresh produce from one location to another location, wastage happen due to moving your fresh produce from one location to another location. So that is called transportation wastage. And again, we can think about inventory wastage, keeping your stocks for a long period of time without adding any value. That is inventory wastage. And again, we can think about waiting time wastage, and also overproduction wastage, and also we can think about wastage happen due to defective items. So somehow, if you can focus on these different types of wastage and find how to reduce that wastage, so all these are business opportunities. It's a huge wastage. And also, so there are 2 points. One is we have to consider the wastage, how we can reduce overall cost happening throughout this chain. And also we need to think about how we can attract customers to our business in terms of supply chain. So how we can attract customers? So if you can deliver right product to the right customer, if you can deliver right price to the right customer, and also we know that customers, they don't like to wait. So if you can deliver right product at right time, and also they don't like to have defective, damage, spoil, fresh produce. If you can deliver right quality to right customer. So those are different ways we can use to satisfy our customer. So those are the main 2 things we need to focus on satisfying our customer. First, you need to think about how to reduce wastage, and also you need to think about how we can attract customers for our business. So let me explain these different types of wastage by using a practical scenario. So if you look at tomato supply chain in Sri Lanka, so let's talk about first traditional tomato supply chain in Sri Lanka. So we have producer, collection center, and economic center, wholesaler and retailer, and through retailer and wholesaler we have consumer. This is called traditional supply chain. And also we can think about what is called supermarket supply chain. So this is supermarket supply chain. So before we going to compare these 2 supply chains, let's talk about wastage happening in traditional supply chain. So what are the main wastages? As I mentioned, so there's a huge wastage. According to researchers, it's approximately 50%. The vegetable like tomato, there's approximately 50% wastage. So there's a huge wastage. So how we can reduce that? So what type of wastage? As I mentioned earlier, so one is transportation wastage. Moving your fresh produce, moving your tomatoes from one location to another location. So one main important thing we need to keep in mind here. So while doing transportation, it is very important to maintain appropriate temperature. So you need to have temperature. Basically, according to researchers, the appropriate temperature is 13 Celsius to 21 Celsius. If you can maintain that appropriate temperature inside the vehicle, so you can keep the freshness of your tomato. And also you need to think about packaging system. So what are the best method of package? So in current situation, we can see that so most of the time they use plastic mesh to do the packaging, 50 kilogram, 60 kilogram plastic mesh to do the packaging. But instead of using plastic mesh, if you can go with the plastic crates with a good proper layout of packaging, so you can reduce huge wastage. And also we have to think about transportation mode. So if you are doing long distance transportation, for an example, if you want to do transportation on Badulla to Dambulla Economic Center, approximate distance is 150 kilometers. So if you do something like transportation like long distance, so you have to have proper transportation mode. So it can be a freezer truck or multiple layer temperature trucks. So those are some relevant. Or if you can't afford multiple layer temperature truck, at least you have to have a properly packed, vehicle with the proper packaging. And also you have to think about not using open trucks. If you use open trucks, so then it is exposed to sun. Again, it's a main issue to damage your tomato. And also, if you're using closed truck, you have to have good ventilation system inside the truck. So those are some ways related to transportation wastage. If you look at the inventory wastage, as I mentioned, so inventory wastage means keeping stock of tomato without adding any value. it's again a wastage. So if you are not using proper temperature storage facility, for example, if it is not a cold storage, you can't maintain the appropriate temperature. And also, there's a very important thing, you have to completely depend on your market, real-time market information. So market information is also very important. Why? Because if you do have demand information and the harvesting information, you can do the matching. You can come up with a really good forecasting techniques. You can come with a really good purchasing plan. So then you can reduce the number of purchases. So then it costs to reduce the number of inventory, number of stocks. So that is a really good way of reducing stock. You have to have. That is why we need to use technology. And also, so high stacking. If there's a high stacking, so you can see in the Dambulla Economic Center, sometimes they use high stacking. That's again a main reason to having wastage. So there's a method called cross-docking. So that is it's again a really important method we can reduce to wastage. So cross-docking means we are not unload our vehicle in that location, but keep that location as a coordination point. From that location, you just coordinate to the demand point. So then you can save waiting time. So that's a really good way of keep the freshness of your tomato. So let's talk about waiting time. So what are the main reasons to having waiting time wastage? So if you look at Dambulla Economic Center, so without having proper parking layout, without having proper storing layout, so then you can see huge waiting time. So farmers or collectors, they need to wait sometime more than 1 hour to deliver their fresh produce. It's a huge wastage. If you consider vegetable like tomato, so since it has limited shelf life, yes, you have to deliver as soon as possible to the consumer. So having huge waiting time is main cause to having large or huge wastage. And if you are not using proper technology to do that, I mean for handling materials, if you are not using conveyor belts, if you only use manual handling, so then it is again the main issue to having wastage. So we have to think about how we can use technology to reduce wastage, and also we have to think about how we can train our employees to reduce waiting time and handling wastage. Okay, so let's talk about the final wastage. Wastage happens due to defective items. So customers, they don't like to buy tomatoes, damaged tomatoes, spoiled tomato, diseased tomato, right? So infected tomato, it can be bacterial or viral infected. So they don't like to buy such a tomato. So you have to have a really good mechanism to reduce that defective items. So what are the main reasons to having defective items? So if you are not using proper containers, if your container has sharp edges, so that is a really good way of, that is the main cause to having large damages. And also we have to think about harvesting time and harvesting date. So if you can harvest early and late hours of the day, that's a better way of reducing quality issues related to tomato. And also we have to think about storage. It is better to maintain proper temperature inside the stores. So then you can reduce the number of defective parts. And again, we have to think about transportation. So if you are using good transportation roads, that is better. But if it is bad due to vibration, so then it's again the main cause to having tomato wastage. And also manual loading and unloading, again, those are the main reasons to having defective wastage. So let's see a small video. So this is related to Dambulla Economic Center. So in this video, you can see all these type of wastage. So let's take a minute and watch this video. Okay, so in this video, I hope you see so all these type of wastages. So if you look at this picture and also according to that video also, you saw that in video. So in traditional method, they use heavy loaded trucks with the mixed vegetable. So that is not a proper way of doing transportation. So even in the three-wheelers. So as I said, if you can come up with a really good freezer truck or multiple layer temperature trucks to do the long distance transportation, it's perfect. So if you can't afford for multiple temperature level trucks, so then at least you can have really good packaging system inside your vehicle to reduce wastage. And again, this is again very important. So packaging system. So if there's no proper packaging system, so it's again the main cause to having wastage. Okay, so far we have discussed. So what are the main types of wastages and what kind of solution we can discuss to reduce those wastages. So let me explain what is called lean supply chain model. So far we know what is called supply chain. So then what is called lean supply chain? So lean supply chain means how we can reduce or how we can eliminate wastage happening throughout the supply chain. So that is called lean supply chain. Why I use the word reduce or eliminate wastage? Why we can't completely eliminate the wastage? You can't completely eliminate some certain wastages. For example, you can't eliminate transportation wastage. The only thing you can do, you can reduce transportation wastage. Why? Because you have to move your fresh vegetables from one location to another location. You have to do that. The only thing, by using technology, by using skilled employees, so then you can reduce that wastage. But if you look at the waiting time, so then you can eliminate that waiting time by having a really good process. Then you can eliminate that waiting time. So that is why we need to focus on lean supply chain, how we can reduce or eliminate wastage happening throughout the supply chain. So if we want to talk about the model, so if you look at each entity in supply chain, so you can say sequence of processes happening there. For example, so harvesting is a process. So what is happening in the collection center, it's again a process. What is happening in the economic center, it's again a process. So there are a sequence of activities happening, and again we can think about all these activities as one process. So if we want to do a process improvement, so this is the really good model we can use to do that. So we normally call this model as DMAC model. So by using this model, we can continuously improve our processes by reducing wastage and improving quality. So this is going to be a cycle that explains continuous improvement. The first thing you all have to do, you all have to clearly define your problem. If you want to improve your current business in this area, if you want to reduce the wastage, first thing you have to define your problem, where the wastage happens. To do that, you have to have a clear picture about information flow and the material flow. You have to determine flow of material and information. That's very important. And as I said, so there are a lot of processes happening inside supply chain. So you have to have a really good understanding about all these processes before we go into improvement. And then you have to measure current situation. So it can be lead time, so it can be a waiting time wastage or defective wastage. You can measure qualitatively or quantitatively. So after you have information, after you have data related to current situation, so then you can do analysis. So it can be statistical or non-statistical tools you can use to do the analysis. By doing that, you can identify what are the root causes behind your problem. So then after you have identified root causes, so then you can do the implementation. Implement solutions for those root causes. And then finally you have to do the controlling and monitoring phase. So that means you have to do the monitoring for your improved solutions. and you can do the further improvement goal. You can set further improvement goals. So by using this tool model, we can continuously improve our processes. So at the end, you can reduce wastage happening throughout your supply chain. So that is why we normally call this as lean supply chain model. It's a really important tool we can use to reduce wastage. Okay, so now we came to the very interesting part. So possible business opportunities. So what are the possible business opportunities? So digitalized supply chain. So if you want to develop a business, online business in this area, so there is a really good business opportunity. What things you have to consider? So there are two main entities we have to focus. So our consumer and also our supplier. So to attract consumers, so if you can come up with a really good design website to showcase your offerings, and also if you do have a really good online platform to gather information from consumer and doing payments, so then you can attract more customers. And also we have to think about how we can select consumers for how we can select suppliers for my business. That's the most important thing. Why? Because we can see huge wastage happening when selecting suppliers. So you have different options available. So you can go to Peta Market and you can do the purchase. Why? Because we are going to do a fresh produce online business. Go to Peta Market and do the purchase. Or you can go to Dambul Economic Center and do the fresh produce purchasing. Or you can select wholesaler near to you and then gather fresh produce from them and do the business. Or you can directly contact farmer and collect fresh produce from them. So there are different options available. So how we can select the best option? So that is completely depend on your business strategy. So what is your long-term plan for your business? So if you going to cater quality fresh produce for your consumer, so then definitely it is better to collect through farmer. Why? Because we know that we can't improve the quality after harvesting. The only thing we can do, we can maintain quality. After harvesting from farm, so if you can get the control of your supply chain, so then easily you can maintain quality of your fresh produce. So then you can deliver quality products to the consumer. So then there's a disadvantage, then there's a huge transportation cost, but you can gather that cost through giving quality fresh produce. But if you want to compete in the market in terms of price, so then it is not good idea to contact suppliers or the farmer. So then you can go to nearest economic center and then you can do the purchase through that point. So then you can give them a lowest price as possible. Because if you do that business, assume if you are going to do that business in Gampaha, so transporting fresh produce from Nuwara to Gampaha, there's a huge transportation cost. Or Ambilipitia to Gampaha, again, this is a huge transportation cost. You have to think about that. So I forgot to explain about what is called supermarket supply chain. So if you look at supermarket supply chain, so they directly purchase fresh produce from their farmer. For example, Cargills, they do have a huge network of supermarket. Even in Keels, they do have a huge network of supermarkets. So they directly purchase from farmer and then they directly send it to the consumer. So then, so they can reduce by doing that, by eliminating large number of intermediaries, so they can deliver right product at right time, at right quality, with the right condition, with the right customer. Right? So that is why there is the most important way of reducing wastage. According to researchers, so if you look at supermarket supply chain, so there's a wastage around 5 to 10%. It's a huge reduction of wastage. Why? Because they directly contact their farmer. And also we have to think about, so farmers, they need to give fresh quality products. So to do that, you have to have a really good connectionship with your farmers. Without having really good relationship with your farmer, so you can't get really quality products from them. So I know Cargills, they are doing really good projects to make really good connection with their farmer. So there's a project called Sarubiman. Through that project, so they have initiated a welfare fund for those farmers, and then they have given educational scholarships for their children. So this is a really good way of having a really good connection with their farm. It is very important. Why? Because that is one main entity in our chain, right? So if you can satisfy them, so they will definitely give us really quality products. So then you can provide quality products to your consumer. And then let's talk about high value added supply chain. So as I mentioned earlier, so value addition is again very important. So if you keep your stock for a long period of time without adding any value, so this is a completely wastage. As a good solution for that, if you can add value for your products by looking at these options, so you can make them fresh fruits, vegetable chips, or canned fresh vegetables and canned fresh fruits, jam, jelly, pickles, sauce, ketchup. So those are some available options as a value addition. Again, you have to think about, so value addition, when you're doing value addition, you are converting your fresh produce into a value added output. So you have to think about manufacturing facility, and again you have to think about how we can select our sourcing point, how we can select our suppliers for to manufacture this kind of value addition, to do this kind of value addition. So since you are doing value addition, you have to purchase large quantities with the good quality. And again, you have to think about, when doing transportation, you have to maintain that quality. Otherwise, it's going to be huge wastage. So then it is very important to directly purchase through farmer. So then you can maintain quality, and then you can do a really good job in value addition by reducing wastage. So organic fruits and vegetable farmers market. So this is again a really good opportunity. So if you want to compete in the market by giving quality, fresh, healthy products for your customer, so this is a really good opportunity. Yes, we do have a market segment related to those areas. So they like to purchase organic and healthy and quality fresh produce. So then you can cater. There's a unique available market. You can cater fresh produce with the organic and healthy manner. That's a really good opportunity. And create a mobile app for fruits and vegetable listing. So this is nowadays you can see this kind of apps. Lot of apps available. Again, so in your area, if you can connect all these farmers in your area with the customers, so then through a mobile app you can easily do that. That's a really good way of starting business. And finally, identify all possible distribution channels and find the best. What are distribution channels? So you can do direct distribution. So if you're a grower or a farmer, so you can do direct selling for your customer. That is called direct distribution. Or indirect distribution means you can go with the collection center or economic center or wholesaler or retailer. So that is indirect channels. So it is up to you to decide which channel we have to use in my business. So why? Because so what are the things we need to focus here? We need to focus how we can reduce our wastage and how we can give maximum satisfaction for our customer. So those are the things we need to focus when we start to business. So I think that's the end of my presentation. So if you do have any questions, so please, so I'm happy to answer those questions. So you can use your Q&A session, so then ask questions. I would like to thank all of you to participate in this webinar, and also I would like to especially thank our Director General, Dr. DMA Kulasurya, for organizing this webinar series. And thank you so very much. And so thank you all for participating in this webinar.